game of Battletoads. If you thought that was easy, oh, I'm sorry.
No, I think that sounds easy. I was just, it is remarkable to me how quickly you just beat Castlevania. I've been stuck on the Dracula fight for like 3 years now.
Oh man, yeah.
I need to learn the speedrun strat.
Once again, it's one of those games where once you've got it down the first time, you've pretty much got it down pat. It like never leaves you. And this game is similar to that, Battletoads.
Oh yeah, this is basically free, right? Like
basically
super
free.
Easy. It's definitely something that chat donated over $1,000 to see you play part of it blindfolded. So I hope you are ready.
They're gonna make it even easier for me, huh? Okay.
Oh yeah, they're giving it to you on a silver platter.
Oh boy. I'll be honest, I'm not 100% confident in it. So I think since this game has limited continues and it's possible to game over out completely, I think the best I can do I got a pretty long estimate on this, so I think I can give it 2 tries, like 2 full sets of lives. Like 1 continue away. I can try that if I fail it the first time. Okay, we ready to start?
Ready whenever you are.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Why doesn't my controller work? Hello? There we go. Something in that intro made my buttons not work. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. So this is the 100% category. I'm gonna start my timer as soon as I have control of the toad. Right, so I'm gonna go over here and you'll see that there's a blinking thing up there. That is a warp zone. In the 100% run, we're not allowed to take those. So I'm not going to take one. And I'm just going to move on to the right. I'm going to beat every stage. And there's a difference between 100% and warpless. Hello? That's supposed to hit him. There we go. The difference between 100% and warpless is I have to beat all the sections of every level as well. So I can't go for any skips. So if you've ever seen the Cuphead speedruns that TMR does, he has a category called Hater Percent, where he basically wants to play through the game in a way that nobody can complain about. And to do that, he has to, beat all the bosses, do all the content, do everything that people would want to see in a speedrun. And that's basically what this is. That's basically what this 100% run is for Battletoads. So there is a thing called the bike skip, where you can actually skip the entire Turbo Tunnel bike sequence by dying in the pit behind you before touching the checkpoint, entering a glitch heaven, and then manipulating your way to the next level through a bunch of glitches. It's pretty exciting and pretty entertaining. But it is not allowed in the 100%. So that is one example of something I am not going to go for. All right, so one thing I probably should do, which I almost forgot to do, I should probably be farming lives, huh? Can I get that one? Okay, good. I'm going to try not to die as well in the process. Hopefully this robot doesn't troll me. Good. So lives will help me tremendously in being able to beat the Turbo Tunnel blindfolded. I guarantee I'm going to die a few times. It's just a question of how many, and how many chances can I give myself. Here's a good place to get a double life. Let's see if I can get this right. Good. Get another chance right here. I'm gonna not go for lives right here. If I leave these birds on screen for too long, then the screen stops scrolling for a while. And they also, they give me a lot of RNG as long as I keep them alive after their spawn point. Okay, hopefully, well, these bugs are gonna mess with me, aren't they? Hopefully I can get lucky here. Okay. Should be able to get one more life here with the beak birds. The reason I'm not grabbing this bird's sword is because every time I hit an enemy with a sword, it lags for 6 frames. Oh no, there goes my life. This should be enough. I'll try my best. And that's level 2. So the rat section here is actually how this level starts. It doesn't even start with the turbo bikes and the auto scroller. What it does is it starts in this rat section where you have to kill these guys first. And the reason I'm not just running past them is because the screen won't let me. It forces me to kill them first. Okay, so is my face cam good and visible? I'm gonna have to throw on this blindfold. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to take my headphones off. Give me a second. Okay. Where's my... I'll look away from the screen so that you know that I'm actually blindfolded and can't see. Okay. That was scary because I couldn't find my controller for a second. Okay, this is the hard part. Ah, I must have got a high jump there. Sweet spot right here. Not many people know about. Good. Ah, hoping for a first try. This is the hardest part right here. Close, close. Okay, I'm losing my rhythm here. That was too high. That was too low. Where is it? Come on. Oh my goodness, I lost my... I had it there. Oh no. Oh, thank goodness. Okay. Oh, that would have been a brutal choke. If I had actually successfully gotten that, but still didn't make it. Ugh. Blindfold, please. There we go. Okay. Now we're back to normal.
All right, everyone remember to breathe. Now's a good time.
My lives are actually disappearing, so you saw that I actually could have choked that right there. I did fail it yesterday too on stream when I was practicing doing a D-Rust, and I failed it once today, but most of the time I got it. Okay, this is level 4, the Ice Cave, and this is kind of where the real speedrun begins. What you were seeing before was mostly auto-scrollers. Now, this is an execution nightmare, so if my execution is on point, I should be able to get past. I'm gonna go for a double dash jump here. This is the toughest trick in the game. I missed it. Can I go for it one more time? Probably not. I'm gonna preserve my lives. So the double dash jump is something where you implement, first of all, the dash jump, which is an input perfect trick involving pressing sprint and jump on the same frame. So so to sprint in this game, you have to double tap. So the input actually is a tap to enable the forward input, and then another tap and A on the same frame. I just got the ricochet pixel. That's a frame perfect. Only that was a bad frame perfect, not a good one. Aw, got the lock there. Stalactite skip. Ooh, that was close. I almost did not make that. So there is some stipulations to 100% in this stage as well. And one thing I have to do is, first of all, not take that warp. And second of all, I have to go down this way. And there's actually a way to skip this whole upper section by just running this way and falling down, since I've activated the mini checkpoint. Normally there's a wall down there. This time there's not, because I've activated the mini checkpoint first. But I'm not allowed to do that in 100%, so I have to take the top route. Here's a cool trick. You can actually do a moon jump on both the bikes and the surfboard. It's limited. You'll come back down eventually. But you do that by getting right before the vehicle, whatever vehicle you're entering, and pressing jump as you are moving forward. And that should enable a nice high jump that the game doesn't know what to do with. Okay, I haven't fought a boss yet. Yeah, this is the first boss of the game, is Big Blag, which occurs, well, after a couple of fighting sequences here. We kill a robot, and this robot's important because he has a weapon that I need. And this weapon is useful for keeping the boss stun locked, and that is our key to getting a quick kill happening. So this guy has a tail attack and a squish. He likes to jump up and squish the toad and kill him in one shot. And with the tail, if he hits you once, he can juggle you in the air, which effectively kills you anyway. So basically, any way you slice it, that boss is a one-shot. So it's nice that we have a nice little stun lock. This is the mine section, probably the most random part of the game. Arguably. It's the most likely to kill you due to RNG thing of the game, if not the most random thing in the game. So these mines can spawn in a way that actually is impossible to dodge. Like if you, for example, if you get a slow mine that's right in the middle, I'm getting a lot of them right now, so they're scaring me. And you have to pick a direction, up or down, to dodge. But if a fast one comes sniping in right as you're choosing that direction, also, yeah, that's a swag death. You can hit that last mine and still be able to finish the stage. Yeah, so if one comes in right where you're trying to dodge, then that's a situation where you literally can't dodge. It's impossible, and even the best player in the world will die to that. This is Karnath's Lair, level 6. Oh, I thought I wasn't gonna make that jump. There's a warp zone in this stage, all the way to the right over here, if I were to jump over there, or fall from the top here. But this is 100%, so I cannot take the warp. And once again, there is not only a warpless stipulation for this stage, there's also a 100% stipulation for this stage, aside from the warp. There are more snakes in stage 4 that a lot of people don't know about, because naturally it seems like the right way to go is a certain shortcut over a row of spikes that takes you straight to the exit point. And my first time playing, I thought that was the intended way. I did not know about those snakes. So that was how I beat the level back then. However, it turns out there's more snakes down there, and they're actually kind of hard to find in a strange way. But they are the intended way to go, so that's the way I'll be going. The best thing I can do here, because I'm only limited to the speed of the snake, so I gotta play around, go for a snake surf right there. If you can actually that sprint input I was talking about, the double forward input, you can do that while crouching. If you're like holding, what I do is I hold down with one hand and I press a direction a bunch of times with the other hand, and it enables a crouch dash. That was weird. I've never seen him go through the snake like that before. I was performing a fun little trick right there where he frame advances, although that usually doesn't kill me to go for it, so I guess I won't go for that again. That's kind of funny. I learned that in 2012 AGDQ by PJ. I also found out the hard way that if you do that with the player 2 Toad, then the game completely soft locks. It not only like goes into frame advance mode. Should I go for it again? I did beat that turbo tunnel awfully fast. Nah, I'm not gonna do it again. But you got to see what it looked like. Let me know if I get annoying with my singing. I tend to go a little too far with it sometimes. Alright, so yeah, first time I entered this screen, I couldn't tell where to go because those spike columns appear right in your way. And you don't know that there's platforms there. They don't look like platforms, they look like part of the background. But you are supposed to land on them. And this is the screen I was talking about where there's numerous snakes that a lot of people don't know about. So right here is what I'm talking about, where you jump over the spikes and you can actually get to the exit hole from right there. And that's how I thought it was supposed to be done all this time. But it turns out you're supposed to go up. You're supposed to ride that snake up and go down, because if you fall straight down, you're gonna die. Well, and here comes some of the most this is some of the most difficult platforming in the game, actually. These jumps right here are incredibly, incredibly tight. And they're deceiving, too, because the spike hitboxes are not what they should be. The tops of them are way bigger than they should be, and the bottoms of them are way smaller than they should be. So they're very strange. But anyways, that's the intended route, the 100% route, and we're on to stage 7. This is Volkmeyer's Inferno. This is my favorite stage in the game. I just think it looks the coolest, and it has my coolest, what I think is the coolest sequence, which is the airplane vehicle. Now, the airplane section is an auto-scroller. I like making the rockets kill each other. Effectively turning them into good guys. Whoops, I punched the wrong way. But I had to wait for them to go off screen anyway, so I actually didn't even lose time for that. That's what's funny about that. I think the same thing happened in my PV as well, right there. I just punched the wrong way for no reason, because my D-pad's weird. Alright, so the jet sequence. Not many people get this far, but those who do get this far know what I'm talking about. This is a really fun sequence. It's also a pain, too, because it's so far in the game and you only have so many lives to work with before you have to start over again from the beginning of the game. But after this gap sequence, it starts to turn into RNG mode again. And I've noticed that as I get older, I've ran this game for like 10 years, and I've noticed that as I get older, this is the one spot right here that gets harder and harder and harder as I age. These fireballs just look more and more like a blur to me, and I have to really like hone in on exactly my out points and my vantage points. Oh Jesus, I almost died there. Got the one up though, worth it. Okay, this is the missile section. So they come down from the bottom and then they drop from the top. However, there's a problem on the US version. You can go down here and they can't hurt you down here. I guess they didn't think of that when they were making this version. However, the PAL version, I'm just gonna go up here because I feel like it's cheating. It's out of the nature of the 100% mode to cheat on the bottom, even though it's technically legal. It actually works on the PAL version. You actually will die down there if you try to cheese down there on the PAL version. And what's interesting about that is that's not a fixed version. That's the original version, because Rare is a UK-based company. So as they made more versions, they got more broken over time rather than less broken. But for a speedrunner, that's a good thing. It means we have more to exploit. Here's a trick for this final gap. This gap is notorious for being incredibly tight, and that's because most people go down. I went diagonal there to give me a few more pixels of room. So that's a trick for your casual playthrough, if you ever get that far. This is the Intruder Excluder. While not the most technically advanced stage in the game, it is the fastest, and it's also the blindest, if that makes any sense. It's almost like I can't see above me very well, so I really have to have a great grasp on exactly what's coming. Since vertical scrolling, vertical camera movement in this game is not that great. As you can see, I'm reaching the top of the screen very, very often. Oh boy. Gonna have to finagle this. 3, and can I make it? Aw, messed that up. Okay. So this is the boss of stage 8, Robo Manus. Oh my goodness. If I get lots of ground pounds like that, that's usually a bad thing, but luckily I didn't die. It's okay if I die, because this is a checkpoint. Oh my goodness, well, there's an example. You just get right back up and finish where you started with some iframes, so. While in casual play, this is a difficult section, or this is a difficult part because this boss is what I would like to call a meat grinder. And what I mean by that is he eats up your lives really, really, really fast, normally. But as long as you know what you're doing, you won't lose too many lives there. Now, there's a skip in this stage as well, not a warp, but a skip, where you can go straight up above the wall, and you can skip this whole sequence with this spinner. You don't have to fall all the way down here, and you can stay out of bounds where there's water coated into there, and you just swim. You just swim all the way through this checkpoint. However, Rare was smart enough to put a failsafe in every stage where you had to at least touch these checkpoints in the right order. And if you don't, then the game does not even spawn an end stage trigger. You get to the end of the stage and you pass right over it and nothing happens. You're just stuck there. So it kind of forces you to almost 100% it anyway. You have to touch at least all the checkpoints and all the mini checkpoints in order for the game to be, or the game to be considered having progressed in the stage. However, those points are in specific spots in the stage. So if you could skip between one mini checkpoint and the next without actually skipping the mini checkpoint itself, then you can enable a proper skip in the stage that will actually allow you to finish. So this is the most random section of the entire run, in my opinion. I know I've said that before. In fact, I've said that a lot of times, but as I get to newer and newer segments of the game, I start to get, like, existentially scared of what's going to happen, and so it makes me want to hyperbolize that it's the most RNG thing in the stage, or in the run. But it looks like I got good RNG there, and I got fantastic RNG there, actually, so I got through there in one try. This is the water wheels section. Normally the gear chasing you section is kind of something where you have to memorize where to go, because again, you got these falling segments, and oftentimes there's like spikes in places where you could not possibly react to them. You just have to trial and error your way through these sections. And they make it even harder by making you swim while dodging them as well in the later part of this stage, which is right here. Here's the final checkpoint. Now, we have decided that that spike skip I just did there is allowed in 100%. And the reason for that is... Oh, goodness. Can I make this? No, I have to do this. The reason for that is because it at least shows the entire game. You still at least see the entire intended sequence on the screen. The only difference is we go below a spike instead of above a spike. So that's one of those debatable points that we had to question ourselves about. Normally you take a spinner and go down that spike section slowly, but as you can see, you just skip them and bounce your corpse over the finish line, and it finishes the stage for you. Welcome to stage 10, the rat race. You race a rat, literally race a rat, to the bottom. And if the rat reaches the bottom before you, the entire screen explodes, the toad dies, and you have to start over. So this is another trial and error sort of memorize-y sequence that you're going to have to play a lot of times in order to memorize the layout and know where all the gaps are in advance so that you can go faster and faster and faster until you're able to beat the rat. I knew not to go left there, even though it put me in a groove. Left, right, left, right, left, right. But they throw that hook right there, where you have to go fall straight, very smartly. Aw. Okay, so I am at a checkpoint now, where casually this is where people get stuck a lot for a long time. And rightfully so. It's a very difficult section. It might even be difficult for me here if I mess up too badly. But actually, what I'm scared of is not dying. What I'm scared of is a soft lock that can happen if I go too slow. If I go fast enough, at least I don't know if this is true, but I have never personally experienced a soft lock if I do this section optimally. So it looks like I'm going pretty... Oh, that's not so optimal. This should be good enough? Should be good enough. Don't soft lock. Please. Thank you. Okay, good. So yeah, if you get really close and that rat is just about to reach the bomb before you, I didn't want to throw. Come on, I don't want to throw. Punch. Oh my goodness, I wanted to headbutt. Well. That's the nice thing about bosses. Is usually they are their own checkpoint, and you can just respawn and not lose much time. But if you die in a checkpoint, that is the biggest time loss you can get for dying. So these are not too punishing. There we go. And that is General Slaughter. That is level 10. Looks like I'm very much on pace to beat the estimate, and that's probably because I was able to beat the turbo tunnel. However, the world record would be at the final boss by now, so I can't say that I'm doing that great. Of course, I didn't have to play the game blindfolded, so I have that going for me. Alright, so this is the Klinger Winger. It's another race thing, but it's more like an auto-scroller. What you have to do, it's actually a whole lot harder than it looks. You have to press the direction that it tells you to go. And it throws obstacles at you in the form of corners. And for those corners, you have to optimally turn your D-pad just as you're making the corner. Now, that sounds simple enough, but they made this so tight. Every single corner, you have between a 5 and a 7 frame window to A, see it coming, and B, reacts to it in a way that actually hits that 5 or 7 frame window, or else the orb gains speed on you and kills you on the straightaways. So luckily I was pretty optimal on those corners, so the orb is pretty far away from me. But try it yourself, I promise you it won't be so easy. And on top of that, you have to fight the boss. You have to fight the orb that you just raced, and he just killed me. But luckily, it's a boss. It's not a checkpoint, so I haven't had any horrible deaths yet in this run, which makes me happy. Nice reverse headbutt, that was weird. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna bring him over here. I find this to be easier on the right wall. For some reason on the left wall, he's more likely to hit you. And that's level 11 done. Welcome to level 12, the Revolution Tower. This is the penultimate stage. It's technically the last stage, but the final boss is considered her own stage. So this is stage 12 out of 13, but more colloquially, it's considered to be the final stage of the game, since the last stage is just a boss. Oh, I forgot where I was there for a second. I thought the rhino was coming earlier, but it was a spike ball. Okay. And for a speedrun, yeah, my problem, every single time I come back to this game, my problem with the stage is the whole stage looks the same to me, so it's easy to forget what's coming. And so I always have to contend to that every time I de-rust the game. Oh, hit him. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Aw, missed that cycle. Oh, missed that. Okay. Didn't die, though. I cut my jump short so that it wouldn't kill me. So this is one of the most punishing stages. If I die here, it's one of the biggest time losses I could possibly get. So I'm going to try my best not to die here. And this, to me, is the hardest checkpoint of this stage. So here goes nothing. Uh-oh. Okay, gotta go for a casual kill here, because I missed the boot. Where's that brown platform? There it is. I'm gonna wait on this so that I get a much safer version of this sequence right here. There's a small skip you can do right here. Normally you wait. Well, actually that's too late, so I can't do it. So I am gonna do this. So that allows me to get on this platform a little faster. It's a little faster than waiting for the platform to come under your feet. Oh my goodness, I messed up. I messed up. Oh, I messed up. Okay. We're fine, we're fine. I'm just gonna wait for him. Keep him on the right side of the screen so he's least likely to hurt me. Okay. That's stage 12 down. And this is the final boss, the Dark Queen. She goes into a tornado attack. Oh well, there it is. And she goes off screen, and this is the worst thing for the speedrun. She can take upwards of 13 seconds to come down. And so we want to avoid that as much as possible. And the way to do that actually, is to trigger the knee attack. And the way to do that is to get in front of her. Oh man, well, not like that. In front of her in a way that doesn't knock you down and give her time to go into her tornado pattern. I was able to recover at least right there. Okay, there it is. So the game is not over yet. She's dead, but one last troll the game throws at you. If you have 0 lives and you're standing there, you didn't beat the game. Sorry. And you have to start over. That's Battletoads. And then you have one more sequence, this rescue cutscene where Pimple and Angelica come down and you have beaten the game. Thank you all. Thank you all for the GGs. Easy game. Okay, that's it.
Easy game. Free and easy. Oh my gosh, GG. That was awesome.
Thank you.
When you were preparing for this, so like obviously the blindfolded turbo tunnel is terrifying. I feel like not even as a runner of this game, I get that. What other parts of this do you think you were most anxious about in terms of preparation?
That last level, level 12, easily. I made sure to mention it because I was very scared of it. It was like utmost in my mind. If you die on one of those checkpoints, it's upwards of 40 seconds each. And toward the end, since you have to wait for those clouds, it takes a while to go up. You have to wait for platforms. That one can take like a minute each.
Are they RNG platforms, or do they spawn in the same place every time?
The platforms are, if you're talking about those green platforms that blink in and out of existence, they're based on a global cycle that begins at the beginning of the stage. So that's interesting because the whole speed route is based around those platforms. So every single cycle takes about 4 seconds to blink in and out. So you can really, theoretically, only beat the stage in increments of 4 seconds. And so that's one interesting thing to note about the speedrun.
They just want to make it as difficult and tedious for you as possible.
Yeah, they did. They did a good job. This is a heck of a speed game.
Yeah, very cool. Well, if folks want to find you, where on the internet can they find you?
JC, twitch.tv/JC, JAY_CEE.
Awesome. Are you working on any speed games right now? Or you sticking with Battletoads forever, I guess?
Nah, Castlevania 2 right now. I've got a bunch of speed games I got to work on, but I am going back to Battletoads for real after Castlevania 2 is done, and I'm going to try and get that world record back.
Awesome. All right. Well, the command is in chat to go follow JC on his Twitch channel. And yeah, that's all the questions I got for you, JC. Thank you so much for this awesome block of game. Everyone enjoy the rest of the marathon. But yeah, thanks so much for bringing us that showcase.
No problem. Thank you for having me. Bye-bye, guys.
Wow, I am still in shock. The whole blindfolded segment there, just absolutely incredible.